Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is part two of the sculpt of me trying to make a hero show for myself. Just give the community a another little black superhero movie. You know, something to represent. Something that's awesome. And I'm just basically taking the character that was more of a toony feel, and I'm trying to give him a more of a grounded feel, closer to reality. Make him a little bit less toony, make him a little bit more realistic, which means the nose and stuff like that. Had to go. I tweaked it a little bit. You'll see how it looks in the end, but I like how it turned out. Yeah, I got to get the work in there pretty good. I like the speed of that workflow. Feels good to look at the scopes when you're done working on them. Gotta love that new ZBrush, right? Really makes things easier. It's the one thing I asked them to change like 6 years ago, and when they do, everybody makes like a big deal about it, and then I'm like, I don't know what's up. And turns out it was the one thing I needed. You know, one thing I asked them for 6 years ago. Just cool how everything just comes into fruition. Because it wasn't a tiny thing that I asked for. They had to pretty much recreate the entire software just to merge Sculptris with ZBrush. I asked them to do that 6 years ago, and they had to redo the entire thing, but they did it for that very reason, because they needed to. They wanted to merge it in there, and because of that, I'm able to focus on all these crisp details without having to worry about the topology of the mesh too much. It's like I'm working on something organic, as opposed to having to be working on the topology. I mean, it's good to know about the topology and stuff like that, but it really changes everything when you gotta plan around that. But you don't have, like, not anymore. It's better. I'm just excited to see any newer updates they'd be willing to give to the software in the future. I mean, they just said 2018. I'm worried about 2030. What are they gonna add to it in 2030? I can't even imagine all the new features that they'll add. I mean, that's all that my mind could comprehend to ask them to do, and it finally got done. I mean, next thing they could probably do is make the fur more easier to create, make the hair more easier to create, make you be able to animate in there, animate characters, make the render look super hardcore like Keygen. They got all these softwares that they gotta bridge. Maybe ultimately they'll be the one software. Maybe ZBrush will replace Photoshop. maybe they'll replace everything. Not because everything else ain't good enough, but because ZBrush is think outside the box and they get it right. I mean, how much sculpting software is out there are really up there like ZBrush is right now? Like, who could compete with ZBrush right now? Everything else is either super hard to use or not enough tutorials, or it's not for everybody. They keep it for themselves, and when they know how to use it, they just stop. There's no community around their software, really. But with ZBrush, they got more and more every year. Yeah, I still have to work on the fingers and toes. I mean, by no stretch of the imagination is this character complete at all. Visually, it's a workflow for me to use, a way for me to share not just this project, but all the projects. Some of the processes, you know. I mean, when you see a movie like Beauty and the Beast come out, like how Disney made Beauty and the Beast come out, you already knew the story of Beauty and the Beast, but you still wanted to go see the live action, even though you seen the cartoon. You still wanted to see the live action because you were a fan, and that's why I could pretty much spoil anything I want about the story, you know, because in the end, if it's any good, you're gonna want to hear it more than once. If it's a horrible story, you're probably gonna be like, hold it, my time is precious. I only need to hear this story once. But if it's your favorite, you'd be like, go ahead, bro. Loop it. Loop it. That's my jam. Go and loop it. And if you know what I'm saying. But I think it came out pretty good. Added some muscles there. You know. Some muscles. That was all. Now he doesn't look like a little alien. I still got a lot of work to do on it, but it looks better. Yeah. I tried to make it look like me a little bit, if you can tell. Bald and black and tall. Oh yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that video. Have a good one.